Hello, I'm Hannah Esch, and I am answering the question today of why do I want to develop myself to be a collegiate of character for tomorrow's champion advocates for beef. So as I go on, the first thing I want to establish is the huge gap that we know there is between producers and consumers. Well, this can be sometimes frightening to producers because we get very defensive and protective about our ways of life. I realize the importance of teaching other people about where our beef comes from. So that gap is what really drives me in life and makes me want to push through this educational gap in what I'm passionate about. So we know that farmers deserve credits and ranchers. So specifically to the beef industry, we have been getting a lot of bad feedback about implants, antibiotics, and other things. So I know that it is my job to educate consumers about how important those things are to our way of life and why we use those. So I believe that is where the miscommunication stems from, is trying to teach consumers the science behind why we do what we do. So one example I always like to use is we use antibiotics for our animals when they're sick, just like you would use antibiotics when your child is sick. You don't give it to them just to give it to them. You give it to them to make sure that they are at the best health and feeling the best. And I believe that it is our job as caretakers to do this for the animals. And especially with this technology that has been developed, that we are able to save those lives, I believe we really should. Another thing that I always like to talk about is the misinformation of advertising has used. So one example I like to use is I grabbed a bottle of milk from the grocery store and it said gluten-free on it. So that's just ridiculous to me because I know what that is, but those kind of things make gluten feel like it's bad for you, and we know that it's really not, and those are ridiculous marketing schemes. So some things I like to do with that is talk about the differences between corn-fed beef and grass-fed beef, the differences between natural and organic, or just kind of educate people along those lines and really be an advocate for the beef industry through that way. So the reason that I think that I want to be a national beef advocate is because I think that I have the ability to lead, and I think this would be a great opportunity for me to better in my ways of being an advocate so I can affect the industry for the best for the rest of my life. Thank you.